Mindy?
I think I need to correct by saying I think I'm probably somewhere in between wanting to abolish the commission and supporting the commission. My perspective is, as Commissioner said, I was the the staff in Congress charged with oversight over the agency. And for me, that meant making sure that what Congress had promised in the legislation that formed the commission was being fulfilled. Before I go on, I just want to say that as a professor now, one of the first things I do when I stand up the first day of class is explain that, yes, I came from Washington, and yes, I worked on one side of the aisle, but I'm comfortable enough in my views and my the basis for my views that I have now become an equal opportunity critic. And I do want to start by saying that there are many reasons to criticize the agency, the commission. One thing that strikes me is that there have been commissioners who have gone on about how important civil rights are to them, and I have no reason to doubt that, except that there's a glaring absence of those people in this conversation now. And when those you have to be at the table to have your voice heard. And I think people who have dedicated themselves to the work of the commission, it's unconscionable for them to just remove themselves from the conversation today. There's no way that the commission is going to be able to become something that meets the goals of the most people if those people aren't at the table, if they're not in the conversation. I wanted to suggest some ideas of where the commission could go from where it is now should Congress and the White House decide to move it forward. One idea is the commission itself, the commission itself is supposed to be providing information to the White House and Congress. When I was in Congress and needed information, it was very, very difficult to get information for the reason that the commission was undertaking projects that often took a year or even longer to complete. As someone in Congress, as a staffer in Congress, who's faced with something that comes up in the news and a boss comes running and says, "What can I do about this?" I can't say, well, let's ask the commission, because the answer will be a year from now. The commission has the staff and the commissioners are probably the greatest resource in civil rights in this country in one place. They should be able to provide Congress and or the White House with the information it needs so that legislation can be amended, so that legislation can be proposed, so that court opinions that come down that are contrary to what the White House or Congress wants can be addressed through legislation. Having, in my mind, not to agree with Russell, not that what the commission does now is not without value, but its ability to meet the needs that it has the expertise to provide the mission is not standing up with the function of the agency. The agency also could serve as a type of clearinghouse. The commission both receives and disseminates information on civil rights throughout the country on a practical basis to organizations, academically, in schools. There's no reason that the commission could not serve as a clearinghouse, and what that would do is, because of the expertise of the commissioners and the staff who are there, that the information, the intake of information could be distilled, and the commission could serve as an education resource for members of Congress and the White House, who, as you all know, don't have time to read everything that comes before them. And if we want them to understand issues of civil rights, then why not have people with the knowledge and the background to explain not just the facts, but also the implications, the ramifications, what would be needed to do to act on something that is something current. As I mentioned before, there are court opinions that inadvertently affect civil rights that are handed down in this country all the time. Congress is very often either not aware of those decisions, is aware of them, but thinks that is not sure about how to go about addressing those opinions. The Civil Rights, the Commission is also well suited to provide that kind of analysis to the White House and members of Congress. I'm running out of time and just want to say that I don't want to just offer platitudes, and I have details running around in my mind. So if anyone is interested in sitting down and working on some proposals to further those reforms, I would be happy to participate.